So it's April and I haven't done a video for 3 weeks. Sorry about that. Especially now that there seems to be more of you, which is very scary. But thank you for all of you who subscribe and have watched my videos and liked them, just left comments, whatever, however you are there. Thank you. Sorry for disappearing for 3 weeks, but I definitely needed that. I had the busiest month I have probably ever had in my life. I'm doing a teaching internship and becoming a Finnish teacher. I have this year-long internship going on at the same time as I'm doing my teaching studies, so it's a lot of work in 1 year, and March was definitely the worst of it. I'm surprised that I actually managed to read so much. Maybe it's thanks to that I didn't even try to edit any videos, that I was able to read as much as I did. And I'm gonna show you how much just soon. But first I need to tell you, I'm not going to do TBR pursuit this month because I'm taking part in 2 readathons and I have already chosen my TBR. And even if I tried to do my TBR pursuit and got some prompts that fit it, there's always a chance that I'm gonna get prompts that don't fit and I'm suddenly going to read 9 books. Yeah, so that's fun and all, and I don't want to read that many books. I'm already going to read 7 books for that, plus 1 that I, for some reason, didn't even try to fit into the prompt. So I'm going to take part in 2. One, which is Readathon, hosted by Cassidy. I'm going to link it down in the description. And Magical Readathon, hosted by G, and I'm going to also link it into the description. And guess what? I could have chosen a calling that only requires like 3 books or 4 books. I decided to pick a calling that takes 7 books. Why? Because I apparently like pain. But I'm still excited and I wanted more prompts and wanted to challenge myself, which is probably bad because I don't think April's gonna be any easier month than March was. But hey, I was inspired by that I actually read 7 books this month and no DNFs at all. Also, I'm going to do a little bit of change to the rules of my TBR pursuit. I'm going to talk a little more about it in the next video or next month in next TBR video, but I'm going to take off the only 1 color per pie rule, and I'm going to get pieces from any books that I read for my prompts, because I didn't finish my pink prompt this month either. So that would mean that I couldn't get any pieces out of this. And it's been 3 months. I haven't filled 1 pie. I think it's time. I'm gonna make it easier for myself. So whichever I read, I get a point. So here are the books that I was supposed to read for my prompts. I read 3 of these. 1 I didn't, which was the pink prompt, but no worries, new rules. We are gonna go through this and get my points, even though I'm gonna play next month. Let me just grab my reading journal where all my stats. First prompt was green, which was continuous series, and for that I chose the 11th part of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan called Hopein and Nuoli in Finnish, and in English it's the 2nd part of The Fires of Heaven, which is probably the 5th book, I think. Not completely sure anymore. I'm confused by this. Anyway, I read this, finished this. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was okay. I liked it a lot actually. It had more action than many other books. It was shorter than many of the other books. And I had quite a lot of fun actually to read it, and it got into a very exciting place. I do want to continue with British, but not this month. I get a green piece, and that means the pie is full. And just a little bit of a sneak peek, I decided what to do with it when the pie is full. I get to go to the next, to the center place, and then pick up a book from TBR jar, and that means automatically plus 1 book. So that would mean I get to buy 3 books. Not that my book buying plan has really worked so far, but hey, let's pretend it has. So the next one was blue, which was green cover, and for that I chose Across the Green Grass Fields by Shannon McGuire. Shannon? Sorry, I don't know. I finished it yesterday, which was the 1st of April, so basically I didn't actually manage to finish it during March, but I'm still counting it, and I read it in 2 days, so I count it as a win for March. So I gave this 3.5 stars because Kelpie actually saved the whole book. Otherwise this was a little bit boring for me, but Kelpie actually wrote it whole 1 star, which is cool. I get a blue for this one. So the next prompt is Orange. This is author I haven't read much, and for this I chose an author I haven't read ever, which isn't quite what I we were looking for. And about that I read My Cat Yugoslavia by Batim Statowski. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. This is actually from a Finnish author who speaks about his experience of being a foreign in Finland. It was really eye-opening, a little bit of a wake-up call, honestly. This is good. And also it had a little bit too strange parts for me, even though I studied literature. There were a lot of metaphors, like the humanoid cat was very homophobic. Yeah, there were a little bit weird parts in this, but I gave it 3 stars because it wasn't bad, but also I didn't enjoy it that much, and I get orange piece for that. And then the final prompt, which was Pink Bookapolly, which gave me a prompt, a book under 300 pages, which should have been manageable for me. It's only under 300 pages. Did I read it? No. And that was Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Also, I got a new edition of this. It's from Library 2, but goddamn, it's cool. Look at this, it's like a matchbox. I'm gonna wanna read this. I'm still keeping it because I don't have to return it yet. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. Just, nah. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a little bit intimidated by this book, honestly. It's a classic, and I just expected to be needed a little bit more of my brains to work, and I've been using my brains a little bit too much this month, so 1 piece off for me. So then comes the books that weren't for the prompts that I read, and the first one is Chaldea by Madeline Miller, which is a short story. It was only 57 pages. I gave it 4 stars, but I think I might take it lower, maybe 3.5 stars at least, because I did enjoy it. It was beautifully written. It had a beautiful ending, but it was indeed a short story, and I kind of was missing a little bit more. Maybe it's because I read it when I was at my parents', and my mom is really a talker, so I was interrupted all the time. Maybe I should read it again, but it's a very pretty book, you can see. And I think it will be a very fast reread. Next up, I talked about this in April's TBR video. Sorry, my voice is running out. I've been talking so much because of my teacher studies that my voice is gone, and I have been wearing a mask all the time while I'm talking. So I took part in Magical Readathon, the 1 week long readathon where we read 2 books to gear up our character, like to pick up my character's archivist. So I picked up a guard, which my character has a pack with, kinda, and a conduit, which also was very exclusive for the Archivist's Guild. And for those I read, I chose Bone as my conduit, which was a prompt to read a bone/skull on cover or title book. And for that I chose Near the Bone by Christina Henry, and I absolutely love this book. It was 5 stars for me, actually. It surprised me. It had so much good in it. Like, I love the setting where actually the main characters aren't the usual friend group in the mountains and finding a monster. And I like the characters, I liked their personalities, I loved how PTSD was written in this book. It was very atmospheric, like 5 stars, read it if you want good horror/thriller. It's both, I think. And the second prompt for my character for Magical Readathon was the god, which I chose Gaia, which is kind of like a night god that gives you an ability to hide during nights, become kind of like invisible in a way. And for that I had to read Night on Cover or title, and well, it was on cover for me, and I read My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, and I also loved this one a lot. It was a good reading month compared to last month. I gave this 4 stars, I think, or 4.5 stars. 4 stars. Yes, I lowered the star because it was super frustrating, like all the adult characters, and then not believing the teenage characters was so goddamn frustrating to read about. I loved the setting, the 80s, amazing. I loved the horror. It was horrible horror. I loved the friendship and the teenager things. It was very good representation of teenagers, honestly. Also, this cover is amazing. It's like an old VHS cover situation happening here. It is very cool. And then one more book. Sorry, this wrap up is taking forever. And one more book only. And that was for Literary Dead Book Club, which I wanted to take part for the first time ever, which also filled my past readathon prompt, which was Locations, yes. And that was Paris Apartment by Lucy Fowley. I gave it 2 stars. It was bad. I didn't like it at all. 1, I hated the drama. 2, I hated the characters. Okay, like, bad characters aren't instantly a bad book for me, but here I just kinda like rolled my eyes many times. 3, I don't know. I kinda don't like it when people throw random foreign words like French words here because they're French, but otherwise everything else is written in English. It's kinda for me. And the voice acting in the book was good. It was very good. But honestly, this was very boring. Like, nothing pretty much happened the whole book. I was just waiting for something to happen, and then I think I was very let down by the plot twist. Also, oh yeah, for some reason Lucy Fowley likes to try to write jump scares. And they don't really work for me in a book form. Jump scares are a horror movie thing, and they don't even work for me there. They work for me in games because I'm playing it. But movies, books, no. No, that's not how you build a good tension. And finally, I wrapped up all the books. Sorry it took forever. Maybe I should start making separate wrap-up videos or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's start with my Aurelium Magical Readathon Spring Equinox TBR. I think it's best I tell you first, but I'm part of Serene. It's the water country right over here. Its books are actually a whimsical fantasy, and try to add as many whimsical fantasy into my TBR. Not middle grade whimsical, but young adult and adult whimsical, because that's more my thing. So yeah, if you don't know, it has like decreasing and increasing prompts, and you can only pick only one book can fit either the decreasing or increasing prompts, and then pick 5 prompts that fit to the book. So I'm basically going more by my magical readathon books and then pick whatever prompts fit for my readathon prompts, and that way bring more points to the Serene or lower the points from other neighboring countries. So I made my pages. They're very simple compared to Readathon. But here's mine. I'm going to be favorite card grabber. Does it fit my character? Kinda. But it fits more for me. Right? And there are 7 prompts. I'm gonna give a sneak peek. These are the prompts and books. So first, for cartographer needs to take elemental studies. Course focus is going to be basics of aerodynamics, and that needs for me to read a book under 100 pages, which is super hard for me because I just read Calathea, and so I can use it here, or I could, but I don't want to read it right away. It's a little bit of cheating, maybe? Sorry about that. But my boyfriend has this huge edition of Narnia books. It's huge, it has all the books. As you can see, The text is written like this, and there are pictures in the middle. That means the first book, The Magician's Nephew, is actually under 100 pages when it's written like this. 63 pages when it's written like this. So I'm gonna go with that. So it's Magician's Nephew for me. A little bit naughty. I have read it when I was a kid, but it was when I was a kid, so I remember it was very interesting, but I don't actually remember what made it interesting and think I could read it with new perspective as an adult. And also it's about basics of aerodynamics. It kind of fits because I think the front picture has kids flying with a flying horse, which is probably a Pegasus or something. The next prompt is shapeshifting, and the class focus is formation, claws, and for this I need to read a book with a creature with claws on the cover. And for that I chose The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and this version that I'm gonna pick up from the library today has a cat on the cover, so perfect. I've been meaning to read this for a while. I guess it's time. The next course I'm gonna take is Animal Studies, and the course focus is Face of a Pegasus. And for that I need to read Quick Read, and I chose Bunny by Mona Award, which is only, I think it's 305 pages, and it looks very quick read. And honestly, the plot of this one sounds like a super quick read, so I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. Or crazy, maybe I didn't hate it, who knows. Next up we have Astronomy, and the focus is Basics, Asteroids and Comets, and it's a book on top of my TBR list. And for that I chose The 10,000 Days of January by Alexi Harrow, which I also have been meant to read for a while now. It's gonna be amazing, honestly. It has magical doors like the Starless Sea, so I think I'm gonna love it, hopefully. And I've heard that you might love it if you like the Starless Sea. And I could have picked here the Literal Dead Book Club book, which I'm going to read, because I didn't. I decided to pick a little bit chunkier book. Then we have Alchemy, which is Potions of Infatuation, and for that I need to read a book with book featuring romance. And for that I chose The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schrefer. I know it has a romance, but I know it's not the focus of the book, but it's fine. It only says features, and I know this is about two boys who are in space alone together, and they are on a mission. I'm very isolated. And the next one we have is Inscription, which cause focus is Cliff Strength. And for that I need to read an intimidating read. And I chose The Shadow of the Wind by Carl. Oh my god, okay, this is a freaking disaster, honestly. My camera's battery ran out. I don't have other battery that I could take, and the charging of the battery takes hours. So I'm gonna film this till the end with my phone. Sorry about the quality change. It's gonna be horrible. Also, I'm sitting in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's hope you can at least live with this horrible situation. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafrón. I don't know much about this book other than that it's about a graveyard of forgotten books, and it's very intimidating because it's chunky, and I feel like I'm going to love this book. I have heard so many good things about it. I don't know if it's going to be super hard to read, if I even can read it this month. That's gonna be interesting. But I definitely want to read this, and it's intimidating. And I decided to pick this one up instead of like Fahrenheit, which is great. Okay, let's go to the last prompt so I can cry myself to sleep because of this camera change. Right. So next up we have Demonology, which focus is shadow demons, and for that I need to read a book with the word shadow in the title. And for that I chose Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo, the first book of the Grishaverse universe. This is famous, obviously, and I have never read it, which I'm gonna do now. And I think it's gonna be also a quick read, so it's good for this readathon. I'm both excited and both terrified because I often don't like young adult books that are popular. We will see what happens with this one. Okay, that was all of the books in a super messy video. Oh god, hello. And these are the books I'm going to read. What? There we go. That's 8 books. Oh no, I forgot to tell you about the last book. What the hell? Okay, so for Passwordton and the Literary Dead Book Club, I'm going to read All Her Little Secrets. I don't remember the author's name. I'm gonna put the picture here. You can see the author too. And it's a legal thriller, which I have never read before. Also, it fits for the Passwordton prompt, which was big and little, and it has little, so it's great for that. So yeah, that was all the 8 books. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, even though it's definitely chaotic.